What?
And welcome back to the Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast, episode 221. Even though I almost got debated into a different number, I just read a message. But whatever, it's okay. I don't care. It is what it is. Hashtag it do be like that sometimes. Hashtag is it Thursday yet? Hashtag Wednesdays are very convenient.
It was too many.
Like, subscribe, and comment. Watch the next video. If you don't want to miss the next one, hit the little bell icon. What else do they say?
I don't know, man.
Do you want to? We need like a longer intro with like weird animations that was made in like 2012, but like it tries to hit that nostalgia vibe for half the audience, and the new audience is like, this is ass. But it also like pads the 10 minutes we need for a video to get to that ad revenue.
Our videos are an hour and 10 minutes long. What do you want?
I don't know. Yeah. So Bruno.
You want ad revenue?
Yeah.
What's up?
I served my civic duty today.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
Oh, it was just an amazing. I never felt more in tune with my American citizenship than sitting through American bureaucracy at its finest.
What did you have to do?
So, well, no. Stop.
Go ahead.
We're gonna backtrack here because I'm curious. I'm curious about something.
Sure.
My experience was a little bit different than I was expecting, but I was right in what my initial thought was. It was because of COVID. My county had reworked their entire way of doing jury duty. So,
okay.
Only in the past like 2.5 years has it been operating this way, or probably they said it took a while after COVID to figure out what to do. But like the way I did jury duty this time was very different than even if it was 2 years ago. It was just because they reworked the whole process and they seem to like it, and they don't want to go back to the other way because it seems like it's better. So I'm curious about your jury duty and how you did it, because it was a time pre-COVID, so a lot of things are different now. I'm just curious, like, the differences, but I'm not going to tell you my experiences without hearing your experiences. So,
from what I remember,
okay, so you got a letter in the mail.
I did.
And you got baited. You're like, oh, I bet you this is for my dad. And you looked at it and you're like, oh, fuck, it's me. Because that's what I did. I looked at it, I'm like, haha, I only got jury duty. And I looked and I saw my name. I'm like, fuck, that's me.
No, I think I knew.
Okay.
So I had to call, and they gave a range of numbers.
What technical county do you live in?
Berks County.
Okay, you're in Berks County.
I'm like right on the edge.
Okay, okay.
So I called. They said, hey, it's your time. That was the night before. Morning of, I had to drive into Reading.
Mm-hmm.
Into the courthouse.
Beautiful place.
So we're already starting the day off bad. I gotta park in a parking garage that's somewhat close to the courthouse.
Yep.
Take my ticket, because they reimburse you for parking.
I think you have to put a parking garage next to a courthouse in the design of like modern day, because I think
yeah, yeah, sure.
It makes sense, but yes.
So it's somewhat close. It's not right next to it though.
Okay.
It was like a block away.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh. Do you know what the fine was in case you like didn't have your ticket to validate?
I do not.
Mine was, if I lost my ticket, was $30.
Huh. Nice.
For a day. That's a lot.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So then I had to walk to the courthouse. Mm-hmm. And I had to...
You had to defend yourself on the way there because you were in downtown Reading.
And get to the courthouse, go through a metal detector.
Right. Did you go through the main entrance or like an employee entrance?
Main entrance. It was not some weird entrance.
Okay.
Obviously, the courthouse does a whole lot of things. Like,
I mean,
It's like a shit ton of things.
Probably like the sheriff department is in there.
Yep, yep.
Um,
I think they're
I
like in the basement or something. Or
I don't.
there's all sorts
Yeah.
of things and reasons to go there.
Yes. Marriages.
And then they sent us to a room, and I was in a room with over 100, under 200 people, I think, somewhere
Okay.
in that area.
Yep.
It was a good amount of people,
Mhm.
and I sat there.
Mhm.
And you sit there,
Mhm.
and then you sit there some more,
Mhm.
and like right away they told some people to leave, and then I think I was supposed to have something to go to. This is like after a couple hours. I was supposed to have something to go to, but it got dropped or settled or something, and they were like, "Yo, you guys are the guys. See you later," and told us to leave.
Um. Did
I I remember there being paperwork. I remember them talking to us. I don't remember too much detail wise more than that.
when you were sitting there, did you have your phone most of the time?
Half of me says yes, and the other half of me says we weren't allowed to have our phones out. I
Okay.
can't remember which it was.
Okay.
I think I had my phone though.
So
I
you were
think I
sitting
was
there.
able
Do
to
you know?
use my
Do you
phone.
was it like a Monday you showed up, or was it like a?
It was a weekday. I don't remember what day
Okay.
of the week.
I'm trying to determine if you had to show up for like a whole week or just a day.
It was a day. One day.
Okay.
I think it might have changed if I was supposed to actually do something.
Mhm.
I think that they could have said you got to come back tomorrow or
Gotcha.
something like that. But I don't think that was common. I think it was mostly just get in, get out, it's over with kind of things.
Mhm.
I can't remember, like they split things up into like criminal or
Civil.
civil, yeah. I don't remember which mine was. I think it was civil though.
I think I think there's a third one, but it's either criminal or civil. I know the two.
Yeah.
Juvenile
And
doesn't get
then what
juries.
was that?
Juvenile court, there's no juries, so you never get a
Yeah.
juvenile trial.
And then I left and took care of parking and left. And got paid like a stupidly dumb amount of money, like $9. That
Yeah,
was like
that's
a month afterwards, though.
back in 1952, Pennsylvania determined $9 was the appropriate amount a juror should be compensated for the day. They haven't
It
updated
had
it since
something to do with mileage.
No, no, no. Mileage is separate, and that's like
Fuck, it
17.
was.
It is, but you have to live outside of a certain distance of the
Oh,
courthouse.
that's right. Yeah. So because I'm close enough, I don't get paid miles. So I basically spent that $9 in gas to get there.
You
So
know how much?
basically, I didn't get paid.
You know what your reimbursement was if you
No,
did get it?
no.
17 cents a mile.
That's like, that's laughable. That's
It is.
terrible.
It is. 1952, it was a fortune, and then they stopped.
That's bad.
Yep. Okay, so that was your experience.
Yeah,
So,
it was a half day. It took from morning to noon.
so I'm gonna tell you the experience I would have had 2 years ago pre-COVID, and then I'm gonna tell you my experience.
Sure,
So
lay it on me.
I live in Dauphin County, the county that
Okay.
hosts the capital of our proud Commonwealth. We're not a state. Hashtag not that state life. Um, Commonwealth. Um, so back in the day, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, you got a letter, and you said that letter would give you a date. So if I
You
got
know, in a couple months, we're gonna say 3 years ago. In
yeah,
fact, you should be saying 3 years ago
3 years
because
ago.
we're round up. We're there.
So if it was 3 years ago, I would have got a letter that said like August 8, 15, 2020 week of. So I would have gotten this letter and I would have had jury duty for a week. I would have
Oh,
showed up on a Monday.
that might have
They
been what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I had to call every night, I think.
Oh, did you? Okay.
It might have been something like that. I don't. I got a letter today, and I was scared it was jury duty because you were fucking talking about it, and I got scared about it.
Awful. Um, so Dolphin County made you show up. So this one dude was like, I got, I'll talk about it later, but like I got stuck, and the one dude was like, at least this new system's a little bit better. He's like, I had it like 5 years ago. I had to show up every day for a week, and I never got picked for anything. So he's like, every day I would show up for X number of hours, enough hours in the day that they wouldn't start a new case at the like very end of the day. So like after a
Yep.
certain point,
Yep.
he could leave. But he's like, I showed up, sat there, never got picked, left for a whole week. He's like, it was asinine. I'm like, yeah, it sounds asinine. Um, so the COVID happened. They didn't want people to showing up every day for a week. So at least my county and probably other counties, 'cause it actually seems like it's
It's
a better
probably
system. I'll
changed
give
a
you
bit.
this. They changed it. So I got a letter in the mail with 2 dates. One date was a jury selection date. So that was today, the 10th. I also got a date that said week of the 15th. So next week.
Yeah.
So what happens now is I show up this morning. Or I called last night, obviously. They were like, hey, the Friday session or the Friday picking was canceled. Blah blah blah, here's the rest. So I'm like, okay, I have to show up this morning. Today's selection's fine. So I show up tomorrow this morning, I sit in like 100, maybe 100 to 150 people was my like range.
Sure.
Um,
That like same thing. Yeah.
yeah. Uh so I sat there for about an hour. Eventually, uh they said, okay, we're gonna start reading out numbers. You're gonna go sit in these chairs. You're gonna get like a number card. Um, some people like, okay, the first group had yellow cards. The second group had pink cards. So they already had 4 cases they needed to pick. They knew that day they were going to pick 4 juries for 4 cases that were going to happen next week. So they got
Yeah.
150 people in to create juries for those 4 cases that were going to happen next week.
Yep.
So it wasn't that next week I show up and they like have random cases that are scheduled to happen and they like pick a jury then. They pre-plan their juries now the week before, and you only get picked for one,
It
and you do
sounds
your one, you're
so
done.
much more logical.
Yeah. I know someone at work I worked with. They had to do like I think 3 or 4 days, but they had to do like 3 trials because they were picked for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean maybe you could have, but maybe you just got lucky and you didn't. But the way mine now works is, so like first one I was the yellow group. Um, just a drug charge and like a possession of a weapon. They asked all those stupid juror questions. Um, they picked the jurors. I didn't get picked. Fine, awesome, whatever. I thought I could leave. They're like, okay, no, we have 2 more cases to pick, so everyone that wasn't picked goes back in like the pool, and we're gonna do 2 more
God.
groups and like
Okay.
try again.
They put you back in the pool.
Well,
All
because
right.
everyone's there. It's like
Yeah.
again,
No, I
150
get
people.
it.
They got 13 out of the one and 16 from the other. So that was whatever. Someone texted me, probably Madeline, being like, "Shut the fuck up. Aren't you not supposed to discuss cases? I'm not supposed to discuss specifics. You can say what the charges were." I said no names. I said no things. Um. So yeah, I had an hour for lunch. I have more topics to say about this, but I'm just going through how it worked because there was like some bullshittery that
Yeah.
happened throughout the day. Um, so I had my lunch, bored of my fucking mind.
Yep.
They divided us again. My first group was like 40 people. My second group was 50. And the first group, it was like, oh, juror number 2, 3, 4. They just absolutely ate the first like.
Yep.
They were like, we're gonna pick 13 out of the first 15. like eight or nine of them were like the first 15. And I'm like 31. I'm like, oh, in the clear, in the fucking clear. They ended at like 24 or something like that. And they're
Yeah.
like, our one alternate juror, they fucking skipped to like 30, like 34. They like hopped to like 10
They
right
hop
over me.
past
Like,
you.
I'm like, fuck yeah. Um, so my next group was like 50, and I'm like 39. So off my limited knowledge of how this worked, I'm like, I'm fucking set. No way they're making it to 39. Why would they? How could they make it to 39? Um, this one was like, this was a pedo trial. So I'm like really not enthused about any of this. Like, this is a bunch of like weird shit. Um, and that one took forever because they were like, oh, has anyone had like trauma of like sexual assault? And then like everyone's like, I don't want to answer this publicly, so I had to go off to the side and like um answer privately. That just takes forever because
Yeah.
like
You
you have to
talking
go over
to
there, they have to
individuals.
talk,
Yeah.
yeah, and then it's a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm just like sitting there, like I had a little. I got in like the overflow section, so I wasn't even sitting in like the front area. I was in like where like
Mm-hmm.
normal like people sit, but there was like a little like ledge by my thing, so I like had my hands
Oh
on. I was like almost.
yeah.
I know I was like almost sleeping. Um, so they start picking, and it's going good. My number's fine, and they start jump. They jump like 15 numbers. I'm like, oh
Oh
fuck.
Lord.
Then they hit the 30 or 30s, and I'm like, I'm 39. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. They do like below. They do one below, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm fine. There's still enough people. Then they jump to the one before me, the dude right next to me. Um, they call his number. They call like 38. He's just like, fuck. I'm like, ah. Then they were like, I'm like, oh, it's now or never. It's like do or die.
It
I'm
is
either
now.
the next.
It's literally now or never.
I'm like, it's
You
my
are.
number. It's my number, or like,
It
I'm
is
getting
either
jumped.
me or not me.
I heard him say 40. I'm like, fuck yeah. So,
Oh
dude
shit.
next to me's pissed.
I
He's
believe
like,
I get it, but like really, I don't want to be coming back and doing that again.
yeah. Um. So I'm out. I'm like, I'm done. It's like 4 o'clock. There's no more things. They've picked everything they needed. I'm out
Nice.
of there. Done. So that's how that worked. Like sat through two things, got through both of them. I've been like I did my jury duty. Like I don't
You're safe for
like
at
3
least
years.
some amount of time. Yeah.
I think it's like 3 years in my county. So, uh,
I
whatever.
know it's different based on what you do too. Like if you're actually on a jury, it's longer.
Yeah. Um. Random fact: some people said this about their work. Apparently, employers will pay you for the day that you have jury duty, but you have to surrender the $9 you make to them for them to compensate you your actual paycheck. And I was like,
Oh, who wouldn't do that?
well, yeah, but it's like it's the most asinine thing that your employer would be like, well, in order for us to like give you your average paycheck for having to do jury duty, you need to give us your $9. That's also tax.
So dumb.
It is dumb. But so I arrive at like 7:50. I'm supposed to be there at 8:15. So like I get there a little early. Like 8:15 hits, I'm like, okay, everyone here is now late. So I'm like looking like these 20, 30 people coming in late. I'm like, you like come on, let's just get here on time. If everyone was on time, we could probably like make this faster. No, it doesn't fucking matter. I sit there till 9:15.
It doesn't matter.
I'm there till 9:15 doing nothing. That's when they started reading the numbers. I'm
Were
like,
you allowed
okay,
to have your
whatever.
phone?
So at this point I was from arriving to now to like
Yeah.
9:15 allowed to have my phone. Then they're like, okay, we're gonna start reading off numbers. Okay, whatever. I was in the first group, whatever. I sit there for another like 20 minutes. Then they're like, okay, they should be ready soon. Um, blah blah blah. Like, uh, put your phones away. So we locked them up in lockers. that you had to operate with quarters, and they're like, if you don't have quarters, we have quarters you can use. But I'm like, in this situation, why would you ever have a like why wouldn't we have just bought in like non-quarter operated
Yep.
lockers? Because it wasn't like you paid for them. It was like Aldi's where you get your quarter back. So they didn't make money on the lockers.
What the fuck?
You like put a quarter just to like get the key, then get like the quarter meant nothing because they didn't
Yeah.
actually. It was all useless. Asinine. Like someone bought lockers and thought they were the neatest things ever, and then like someone else said, "Why did these have like quarter mechanisms?" They're like, "Oh, well, they looked really cool online." You know, I could visualize the situation where someone bought something not actually reading any sort of like product description and or like
Yeah.
um infographic. Whatever. It's fine. I understand the bureaucracy. Still annoys me to no end. So I like lock up my phone, and now I'm twitching. Like I'm not used to not being able to like
Yeah.
bad. Bro, I'm like addicted. I'm addicted. I know it. I was going through withdrawal in like 20 seconds.
I I in downtime, first thing I do is pull out my phone. I'm also perfectly fine leaving my phone somewhere and not having it though. I'm like weird with it.
Yeah, if
I don't
I'm
know.
doing something or if I can go like entertain myself sitting in a chair by myself with no
Oh
one to
no, that
talk
like
to.
that's terrible. Yeah,
Yeah, like
absolutely.
I can't entertain myself. I couldn't even have a book. They make you surrender your books and stuff. So like you're just sitting there, nothing. I couldn't even have like a stupid weather channel on to see like watch the same like radar pattern for like 50 minutes. So apparently something happened to the judge that was supposed to be doing our thing, and he had to leave. So we waited like an hour, and then they finally got a new judge. But I was sitting there with an hour with no phone, just sitting in a chair, like staring at fluorescent lights, and I was like
Nice.
losing my shit mentally. I was just degrading. I I eventually like I saw some dude have a newspaper, and I was about to ask him if he like was done with any sections, and I was just gonna like try to read some newspaper. Like that's I was desperate. Um, then lunch. Lunch was there's no like restaurants near the courthouse because you can't leave with your car for your hour lunch because you can only get one validated parking.
Yeah, which is stupid.
So they have a cafe in the courthouse, and my lunch was $11, and I get paid
Well,
$9.
there goes your $9.
Yeah, so yeah, so that was asinine. Everything else is pretty like it's like an expected asinine, like a not like not like overly like just the level you expect from like a jury duty asinine. Um,
Yeah.
a lot of old people. I'm like, yeah, this is really a juror. My peers. I'm like the like one of like three people that look like they could actually like jump more than 2 steps at a time. Um,
Yeah. No, that sounds about right.
oh my god. Then yeah,
I think I was for sure one of the youngest when I went.
I'm like looking around.
By like a good bit.
I'm like looking around, and I'm like, what the like? If I had to go to court right now, I'd be like, boomer, 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 like 40-year-old. I guess that's my peer. Like, what's up, Gen Millennial? What's with the insert 90s meme here? Avocado toast. Whatever. I don't know how to relate to you millennials. Sitting in a room with old people, like not understanding just how to turn their volume down on their like phones that are like cranked all hell because they can't hear. When like you were allowed to have your phone just like waiting for like over lunch and stuff, and there you just hear like
Yeah.
them playing some like Facebook like, oh, don't don't vaccinate your dogs for ticks because ticks are just liberal. I don't know. They're like walking. It's like watching like
The birds aren't real.
yeah. I'm just like sitting here. I'm like, do you guys how do you guys make it to this point? I guess life was just not this. I don't know. I don't know why I'm in IT. I just refuse to understand how people can't use technology.
I feel like that sometimes though. Just the other day I had an issue And all I had to do was restart the server to fix it, and I spent like 3 hours trying to fix it and never restarted the actual server in that time.
Yeah, but we're also doing. You're like also like remoted into a server from your other. You're like,
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I was double remoted at the time. Yeah.
yeah, you're just such in a level of like depth that you can make simple mistakes, and I don't mind because you're also like managing like levels of depth that would absolutely break people.
Yeah. Like I was remoted into the server, remoted into a VM running on the server.
Yeah, I still have people like putting in tickets about things, and then like, oh, can you show me? No, it doesn't happen. And it's like, what are we doing
Well,
here?
okay, let me know. See you later.
I, you know, it's I just don't know how to. I I can help me help you. Help me help you.
No see, only fix.
This was broken. I'm like, oh, okay. Can I see it? No, it's not broken anymore. I'm like, okay.
And I understand that those things do happen. I get it, because they happen to me all the time. But what am I gonna do when it's fixed?
How do I
I
help you?
can't magically make it happen.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yes. It's fucking Indian call support for this company, Ring Central. Uh, hey, hello, can you test this right now? I'm like, you call me at random times and expect me to drop everything to test. No, I can't do this right now. Oh, okay, I'll call you back at 3:15. I'm like, call me at 3:15. Proceeds to call me at 2:50. Can you test right now? I'm like, I said 3:15. And they're like, oh, well, can you do it right now? I'm like, yeah, give me 1 fucking minute. I'll test. I'll test. I need you to test this. I'm like, that's not how. I need you to call out from this extension. I'm like, this extension doesn't have a number. You only call into this extension. This is a call in extension. You don't call out from this extension. Like, why can't you call out? I'm like, your system. You know, this is your system. This is your system.
God, I love IT.
You designed this system. You should know how. I shouldn't be telling you. Oh, okay. How about we do this instead? I'm like, fine. This is accomplishable. This is an accomplishable thing you want me to
This is
get you
something I
logs
can
for.
actually do.
This is I can do this. But like I need to hang up the phone to actually do these calls. It's like, okay, do it, hang up, and I'll call you back in an hour. Okay. Perform the scenarios, replicate the issue, get the logs, send them the logs. Calls me. Or I typed out a thing like, this is what happened, this is what worked, this is what didn't work. Give them a whole explanation on the scenarios they wanted me to go through. Get them on the phone again. Like, I see you gave me the logs and I see your explanation. But can you try doing this? I'm like, well, I did, and I typed up what happened in the thing with the logs. And they're like, yeah, but can you try it right now? I'm like, yeah, but I did, and I'm telling you what happened. He's like, yeah, but can you just do it? I'm like, okay, I didn't do it. I just lied. I said I just repeated exactly what I wrote down. I'm like, oh, it didn't work. They're like, oh, okay.
There's a point
Now,
when that's the logical thing to do.
I'm like, what happens when you do this one then? I just like, okay, give me a minute. I put him on mute. I like, just got on my phone, scrolled a minute. I'm like, explained exactly what I wrote them. Like, oh, okay. I need to call
Yep.
you back tomorrow. I'm like, can't call me tomorrow. Have jury duty. Call me the 11th. And they're like, oh, well, I might need to talk to you tomorrow. I'm like, you don't get to talk to me tomorrow. No, no. So I'm gonna go in and they'll probably close my ticket because they're like, no response, and
Yep.
they'll go weeks without talking to me. And I'll ask like, hey, is there an update? And they'll be like, oh, there's no update. Then one day they call me out of the blue
Close.
and they're like, can I help you? I'm like, oh yeah, what do you need? It's like, well, I need this tested right now, or else we close the ticket. And I'm like, excuse me? I've had it
Yep.
happen twice.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, can I get an update on this? It's like, oh, we try to reach out to you. I'm like, when? I'm like, this time. I'm like, I responded. I responded to your email. They're like, oh, I see that. We closed the ticket. I'm like, wait, what do you? What? Nathan. His name's not Nathan. I refuse to believe this man's name is Nathan. His name is not Nathan, nor has his name ever been Nathan, other than when he started at this company for the call center.
Yeah. I I know that feeling.
Yeah, this has been like 3 months too. Like they just refuse. Like I'm on tier 3 top level support. Is
So
I
what
can't.
good has happened this week?
Um. Uh. A project that's kind of I had a camera project that's not finished by many means, but like I showed it to the one user and they were pretty happy with it and excited with it and was
Well, that sounds
yeah
like a good thing.
yeah you know, make people happy. Kind of I wasn't dragging my feet on it, but there was like things it was getting held up so much, and then I was doing other things and I wasn't getting to it fully, and then I finally did other stuff. Yeah. Uh actually sick so there's part of this camera system is pretty sick. There's something called suspect tracking.
Yeah,
So I don't know if your camera system at home has it, but like you have it set up that you can click around the cameras and you can set it up so you can like do maybe like a 360 or like walk down a hallway clicking to the next camera.
I do not have that. No.
Um so not like what you were probably thinking of, like where it like puts a
I
box around
initially
some.
thought that, and then I switched to the thought process of it understands that this camera leads to this one if you're walking this direction.
Yeah, so I basically make a
It's
hyperlink.
kind of that, but
Yeah. So I basically make a hyperlink section of a screen, and like
hmm
with all the cameras you keep clicking to the next. I set it where
yeah,
you go, but
yeah.
like you go into a hall, you like jump to this camera, jump to this camera, jump to this camera,
It
turn left,
under
turn right.
it's almost like you're making a map and making it like Google Street View.
Yeah. And for like the 360 cameras, it's sick because it's 4 individual views that you can. I have it set up that you can go the next camera with one field, back to the other camera with one, left and right. So you can go left and you can just like switch through a 360 left just
Yeah,
by
that
clicking
sounds
on the
nice.
screen.
Sounds like a good system.
It's really nice, but it's a bitch to set up because you have to like create every screen region and then like link it to the next camera. Like,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Hopefully, it's one of those things you do once and don't ever
yes,
think about
it
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 again.
should be once it's done, it's done. It's just um doing it is doing it. But that was been I had to do all that nonsense. But it's good, decent. It's not like 3 of the cameras were defective because like all tech is shit now. Um, because all like rushed, like
Yeah.
and we went from. Also, I've been having issue with like network issues because we had 6 cameras and now we have 107 cameras, and it's just like it's a lot more
It's a
streaming.
lot of bandwidth. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
I'm
like,
slightly concerned about bandwidth, and I'm trying to minimize how much of it I actually put on my network because I
I
can go
think you should.
directly to.
I think you should just isolate it to its own network and then connect it
Well,
to
I
your.
would have to run a long Ethernet cable out, is the problem.
You have a like 30-inch tube to your shed.
I understand, but I also already have a cable out there and have cameras out there, and it's working fine. So right now, it's fine. I'm trying to keep all the other cameras off of the network, though, which I can do.
Doesn't sound very Bruno of you. Just run another cable.
It's fine. It's actually fine.
Why do you run a third? Why do you make like a 5-foot conduit? And you
Because if I needed to, I could have run another cable.
got the like mega drill out to not just to have 1 or 2 wires in it.
I'm not digging another hole for another conduit.
I know, that's why we got the mega drill out.
I need one of them.
But we're just gonna start drilling. We're just gonna start drilling.
Fuck it, dude. You got a rock that needs a hole? I got you.
You know? Maybe that's maybe that should
I
be your
do
side.
want one, but not that big. I want the size smaller.
Okay.
That was an SDS Max. I want an SDS hammer drill.
Okay. Bruno
Rotary
wouldn't
hammer.
just. Okay, the man that like can't not buy the like latest, like the biggest thing ever, wouldn't like buy the biggest fucking drill he could get his hands
Look,
on.
I understand that sometimes I have a problem.
Why don't you just use your leaf? Why don't you just put your leaf blower against the wall? You blow a Vale's fucking hole with your 8 horsepower on your back.
You know, maybe.
Or how many horsepower? 3? It's 3 to 8.
It no, you're definitely around 8. I just don't know. It might be like 5 or it might be like 9, and I don't know which it is.
It's holy shit. 9, 9, 8,
Oh, it's
7.
4 and 4.4.
Oh,
That's all.
well, that's like barely. I mean, that's like barely like. I
It's
mean,
not
what?
nothing.
I know that's like a backpack blowing air. That's like a lot.
It's not
Uh,
nothing. Let's be real here.
I know, but it's fun to think about. It's not, and there could be more.
Could be. Be fucking heavy. That thing's already kind of heavy.
Well, yeah, but you would just like have it would have a levitating function. It would have like a lift
Okay,
function.
now
'Cause
we're talking.
you like you're already blowing. You're blowing 8 horsepower worth of air. Some of it can go down to make it lighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your pants might
Cuz
come off
like
though.
it's weird to walk with that thing, to be honest with you. Cuz it tries to twist you.
Well, yeah, and you also have like a 4 horsepower motor just strapped to your back.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's fine.
It is almost leaf season. We're getting there.
I've used it already. Yeah.
On what?
Leaves. I have leaves falling.
I hope it's because they're like dehydrated.
I think it was. I think it was when it was really hot.
Okay. It seems a little early.
Yeah, it wasn't a ton, but it was a bit. They collect in front of my garage, so I kind of get them out of there.
Yeah.
Keeps the garage cleaner, and if you do it more often, it's less annoying because they don't get like ground up as you drive in and out.
Um. Do you? Where do you actually put your leaves?
The woods,
Woods.
yes,
Um. Okay.
they just I make them disappear. It's not. I don't haul them away or anything,
Yeah. No, you know.
or burn them like some people do. Just stupid.
Well, burning things is fun.
I get it.
Okay.
Not for me. I'm not. I'm not a fan. I've seen way too many leaf piles get out of hand.
Yeah, when you throw gasoline on them.
I've been to many people's house where they were burning leaves, and now the whole forest is on fire.
Well, maybe. Yeah. You know what? Maybe some people shouldn't have access to things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
But yeah,
Or like burning a burn pile on the windiest, driest day in existence.
perfect. It feeds the fire, makes them burn quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, it is almost getting that fall. I'm getting those fall vibes. Cause like next weekend, I have possible plans next weekend. Next week's the 20th of
Yeah,
August.
it's coming quick. That's for
Oh
sure.
my god. Y- I you know that fact of life that you don't remember because it's been too long and it doesn't affect you anymore, but you still like hit like a brick.
The back to school thing.
Oh my god, yes. You read my mind.
Fucking August came around and you just dread it.
It was like last week. It was not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, I had to run to Giant to get something. So last weekend was the 31st of, not last weekend, the weekend before that was like July 31st. End of
Yeah.
July. Monday was August 1st. Sunday I walked into Giant, because I think by like order they were missing something and I picked something up. Um, and I saw a bus and it was like, get your back to school snacks. I'm like, holy shit, you can't escape this. Not even at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Then I'm streaming TikTok now, or not streaming TikTok, Peacock, watching a show on there now, and I got that like Old Navy like school that always is like it always kind of like half makes you think school is fun because it's like cool school where kids are like always roaming around, talking to their friends, having fun. And you're like, oh yeah, school is fun, and then you like go back and you're like, holy shit, Old Navy school isn't real.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed some parts of school.
Yeah, not like it's not all ass, but like
Yeah.
it's like that
Looking
last,
back, it was an enjoyable time.
you
In the
know.
moment, maybe not as much.
It's not enjoyable in the time, but you have no context of how unenjoyable like the rest of your life is gonna probably be.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. Oh, well, Nick, I know you don't like your school lunch, but like you get to sit and talk to your friends for like half an hour. Wait till you're an adult sitting at your desk at work, like scarfing down a sandwich that you like half made at like 8 a.m. in the morning or 7 a.m. in the morning because you refused to make it any earlier or like
Yeah.
at night. And you don't want anyone to talk. You're just staring at your phone saying, "Please don't ring. I don't want to talk to anyone right now. I just want to eat my food." So like, yeah, get it. That chicken patty wasn't the best ever, but you know, whatever. At least you got to like talk to your friends.
Yeah. I mean, my lunch setup was pretty nice because our school had the normal lunch lines, and then they also had like a sandwich line that you could get them to make you a sandwich or a wrap.
Oh yeah. And your Italian blood was like flowing. You're like, I need some pastrami.
But I knew the people making them.
Oh, well, they were like your cousin.
No, but I was in with them, and I was good enough friends with one of them that they all liked me. Dude, you should have seen the sandwiches they made for me. And it was like, it was obvious that I had something going on. Because, like, you'd see the wrap that the person in front of me got, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's a couple pieces of meat. And
Mm-hmm.
then my wrap, like, doesn't close right because they just. It was ridiculous. But it was
They they
great.
hook they hook you up.
They
A,
absolutely did. Yeah.
a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Um, pretty. Tried Jersey Mike's. The first time last week. Fine. Little pricey. Wasn't too
Yeah.
impressed, but wasn't like not impressed. I preferred Jimmy John's more. But
I don't have either of those near me enough, but I have some local delis that make good stuff. So I'm
I mean,
covered.
I like Subway. I like Subway a lot less. Like all sub shops are so expensive. Like sub, I don't know why. I don't know. It has to be the overhead. Like a pizza
I don't know.
place that like sells subs. Subs are
Oh,
like
they're
dirt cheap,
ridiculous.
and they're like thick subs.
See, I don't have any good ones of them around here.
Really?
No. If they make pizza, they don't make great sandwiches to me
Oh. Yeah.
for
I mean,
around here.
they don't make like the best ever, but like most of mine like have a solid sub that I can get. I will order their subs at times,
Yeah.
or like
Like, I have an orchard down the road
hmm
that does like bougie groceries. It's a small place, but they also make sandwiches and they make good sandwiches. Kind of pricey.
gotcha.
And then the other way down the road, I have a deli that does great sandwiches at reasonable prices for how good they are.
Mm. Um, I there's one pizza place that makes they have a good bacon chicken ranch that I get them to throw hot sauce on. And like that's a really good like bacon chicken ranch like sub. They also have a good chicken Philly. Every
Okay.
once in a while, I enjoy a good like chicken cheese steak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm really upset. I don't have like bakeries near me. I wish I could just go to Giant. I just want to roll. I want to be able to buy a 12-inch roll.
You need ATV Bakery. That's what you need.
I need some.
When
I
I go
wish
into Reading, I usually stop and get rolls.
like I want a sub. They don't. You don't just can't buy a sub roll. That's like one of my favorite things about getting a sub is you get a big old sub roll that you could just
Yep.
jam full of shit. You can get like hoagies, but a hoagie ain't a sub.
Like I can get them at Sam's Club too.
Can you? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
But like I there was a sandwich shop that had really good rolls and they came from ATV Bakery and you can walk into ATV Bakery and buy rolls and it's like in Reading you walk down the steps and there's a little tiny counter where you're watching them make bread
Damn.
in like a warehouse and you can just buy the bread. And that was the shit. Every time I go there, I'm happy with it. Good bread.
Well, damn, Bruno. You know what am I? What am I to do?
I don't know, man. Find a Sam's Club, I guess.
There is one
They
near
make, they
me,
make
but
good bread.
I don't like going to it.
Yeah. Buy bread and rotisserie chickens.
Hmm.
Cheap, really good rotisserie chickens.
So
It's like $5 a chicken.
I I was like BJ's the most.
I think
So
it's very store dependent for
yeah,
BJ's.
it is. But I've had
Because
some good
mine
BJ's.
sucks. But I've
Yes.
heard other people say, oh, it's so great.
Um. If they have a bakery, BJ's bakery is always like
Is it?
on point. Yeah. Uh. Try to get meat. I went to Carnes the other day to get meat to make jerky this weekend, and it was not there. Had no roast.
Hmm.
They only had
Bummer.
steaks, round steaks. So I'm going to go tomorrow night, see if they like restocked any. If not, I have no idea where I'm gonna go. I'll have to make them like the next weekend. Carnes was like my normal go-to. Otter Milch Meats. Maybe I'll go to there. Is that on my way home? Not really. Could be. Not really though. Fresh meats? Meat bundles? Bundle 1, bundle 2? Poultry? American cheese? Mm. Um, you got all your jerky made for the trip? Or are you gonna do
Nope.
like a batch like right before?
I'll probably do a batch soon before.
Yeah, I'm like looking. We don't have that many weekends left. I'm like,
I know. It's coming up.
so I was like, oh, maybe I'll make it all this. I was like, gonna get like 6 pounds total, and then just make 3 pounds
Mm-hmm.
of one, 3 pounds the other. Because I assumed you were gonna do about the same. I'm like,
Probably. I
that's
don't
like
know.
pre dehydrated. I'm like, that's 12 pounds of jerky, and I don't think that's good for anyone's like heart and vascular if we bring any more.
I think we need to split it in half.
Like hide one half, and
Uh
then
huh.
like, okay,
Like, I actually think we should.
we
Because
can.
the first day, they demolished everything I brought, pretty much.
Mhm. I'll put my like one flavor I'll put in two even bags, and then
Mm hmm. Yeah. They're fucking carnivores, Nick.
yeah, they really are. It's like absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully, like the drinking slows them down.
No,
Well, like wine
I
sits in
don't
your
think
stomach
so.
and it makes it acid. Like I don't.
I guess. Burry ate himself sick on beef jerky.
He needs to slow it down. That's why they were like. That's why they were hurt. Well, no, I don't know. Whatever. but it's coming up.
It do be quickly.
So I'm saying, like, because this weekend's the 13th, 14th.
It's like a
Uh,
month.
we're only 1, 2, 3. We're only 3 weeks from Labor Day weekend, and then we're the weekend
Yeah.
after. Yeah, no, 2 weekends after Labor Day. Because yeah, so we still have a little bit more time. I have some time doing
Yeah,
Old
we got a little
Bay,
bit.
doing Old Bay in the Buffalo style.
Are you?
Yeah, I want to do the maple bourbon. I might make like a small sampling of it so you can taste it and you can tell me what you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I had positive response of it, but I don't know if a whole batch people would want a whole batch of it. But like a
Yeah.
taste of it might be worth.
Yeah.
It's
I
close.
feel
It
you.
could be there.
Could be.
Like it could be a decent recipe that you're like. It's like a good change up. It's a good like sweet like a sweet savory
Yeah.
taste. I just don't know fully what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I might slap a little sampling. Damn, we're already at 51 minutes.
We
That
are.
jury duty really took it out of me.
Did you see this? That Tower of God is getting a second season?
Finally. Um, I I started. I'm like 100 episodes, or I think I'm like over 100. Well, let me tell you, I have it on a Google Sheet. I have read a quarter of the moi, because
Yeah.
it's not like a manga, because it's Korean.
Yeah.
Moi,
Is it manhwa?
manhwa.
I'm not. I have no
It
clue.
it is
I'm.
something like that. But I've read 132 issue web comics of it. I kind of slowed down because I kind of got to like a. I wasn't thrilled with the arc. Not that it was a bad arc. I just was kind of like getting out of it. Um,
Yeah.
but I probably wanted to pick it back up again. I First season's really good. It compared to like what I read, like it wasn't one on one. And like when I saw people saying, "Oh, it's missing stuff with the comic," I'm like, it's really not missing that much. Like, I didn't think it was anything too drastic they missed. I think it's just people wanting like a picture by picture rendition of the like thing, which is
Yeah. I
not
think
realistic.
sometimes they go crazy.
Yes.
Like the manga readers, I'll say, they like really want everything and will claim, "Oh, it's so much better." When sometimes it's, I don't know from experience, but I'm guessing a lot of the times it's like just, "Ah, yeah, it's better," but not
Yeah. But
not crazy.
good, good show though. I think it's a really good story. It's a very interesting setting. Interesting setting. Interesting setting. Interesting character. Um, maybe the lack of good storytelling at time is very much made up for the world and like world building. Summer of 2020. Yeah, fuck me. What
They're
the fuck?
guessing. They still don't know though.
Yeah. Um. Oh, you watched a show that I think is a show that makes me really sad that anime is portrayed in the way it is because it's such a good story that like I think like an average audience could appreciate and it be like a good story.
I need more than that. I have no
86.
idea. I started it. Yeah.
Oh, I
I
thought
didn't
you were
finish
watching
it.
it.
I am watching it. I did not finish it yet though.
How far into you? So the first part, second part?
Still the first part. I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in.
Barely touched it. You said you
I
watched three, and then you what?
I know. Look, I got busy the like following 2 days after I started it, so I didn't watch any.
Damn.
Um Also not a very bingeable show. I have trouble. There's too much going on, I think. so I can't pump through it.
Yeah, I did like 3 or 4 episodes a day, and then I like called it quits.
Yeah, like that's I think what all I could do. I don't think I could do more than that.
Damn, I thought we were gonna be able to talk about that more. I
Nope.
thought you'd be farther.
Sorry. Can't do it.
No,
It's good though. Like I really enjoyed it so far. It's a it's a dark show though so far.
it is. Ever watch the like the miniseries like Band of Brothers or the Pacific?
I have not, but I've heard about them.
They're
I've
both
heard a
like
lot about them.
miniseries based on like World War II, like real
Mm-hmm.
people, like live action based off real stories, like really
Yeah.
dark. Not like they don't like just glorify it. They show you like a bunch of like, oh, this dude just like lost his leg,
Yeah.
and he's like the guy you've been following and like friends with. Um, like 86 is like an anime version of like that show that could a lot of people that would it's just a it's not the lewd, it's not like over the top anything. It's just like dark.
No, yeah. I think it did get very popular when it was coming out.
I mean just like in general like life, like people
Yeah.
like
General population popular is different.
yeah, like I wish I could recommend it to normal people like yeah, it's a really good story. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
people fighting like robot AI, which I get is like a little bit niche, but like kind of like the darkness of like children at war.
And the dub is good too, which also helps with that
Oh,
recommendability.
yes. With like slavery and like all that stuff, like it's you know crazy. I guess it wasn't slavery. It's like camps.
It's it's different than slavery, but just as bad. I
Yeah,
almost want to compare it to the Holocaust more.
kind of with like camps stuff. But yeah, it's one of those just really really good shows. I like started it. I'm upset it was that good, to be honest with you, because I started it and I'm like in it and I'm like I'm really invested in this show now. I like the ones that are like
Yeah.
I love shows that are on the verge of like oh if I never get any more of this I'll be kind of happy.
Like the garbage shows.
Yeah,
Like
like
I have a love for those garbage shows though, but it's
oh yeah.
not the same love that I get when I get invested in something.
Mhm.
Like there's a I can probably list off a few that I got actually invested in, and those are they're almost a different type of show to me. That I'll be like upset if I never get more.
Yes. I have like so many shows I started but I never finished. I'm on a bad like streak of that right now.
Me too. I got a lot to catch up on.
I have a lot I just need to like sit down and like I'm gonna finish this and
Uh huh.
finish this.
I have a couple of them, and I have a couple that I need to watch a season of.
Really.
Yeah.
I'm not too
Like
bad.
Bookworm, for instance. I didn't watch the third season of Ascendance of Bookworm yet.
I
Haven't
watched
started it, haven't touched it yet.
I watched 3 or I watched like half of that season, but again I stopped like episode 5 or 6. Like I didn't
Yeah. I started a few weeklies and I'm enjoying them. I
mhm,
also purged a lot of the weeklies that I started.
too
I
many.
like I started they were shit is what
Yeah.
happened. I started a good amount and then cut back to a reasonable amount. One of them got weird. The animation was really weird. It was it was the one I DM'd you about.
Uh
Black Summoner.
yeah.
It was the second episode and it was like people started fighting and it turned into this like side scroller fighting game CGI looking thing. It was like a whole new thing that I haven't seen before. It wasn't good, I don't think, though.
Yeah. Um what was oh Well, no matter what, we have the best show ever coming out next month or next month or two. So don't worry.
What's what's that?
The farm show.
Oh, dude, I am hyped for that
There's
show.
no way that's not gonna end up being our number one show ever watched, no matter what. It checks every single fucking box we've ever wanted in a show. It's probably like, in terms of
But
like the,
see, that's what I thought about the stupid slime show that turned out to be so bad.
yeah, but we saw the preview for this one. It looks good.
You're right.
That's what I fucking called that dating sim one. That like I got trapped in a dating sim.
I
I,
thought that was gonna be garbage, and it turned out pretty fucking funny.
that one was awesome. That was like the top one of that release. Even
It
like
wasn't bad.
even Reddit was
Yeah.
like pretty like, oh, this one actually was really good.
Uh, what else? Overlord's coming out too. I'm
Yeah,
waiting on that one.
4 episodes out of 13.
In dub or sub?
Dub.
Yeah.
All subs
I'm
out.
I'm just trying to forget about it so that I can
Yeah.
watch all of it.
Um. Oh, I had something. I had something. I can't think of it. What did I have? What did I have? What in my head? It was my head. Um. I'm losing it. Losing it. Lost it.
It's gone.
It is
Just like
gone.
Steam. My
Steam
Steam's
down.
down right now. I don't
What?
know why. It's weird. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday?
No. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I know.
Why is Steam down on Wednesday if it's not Tuesday?
Bro, I don't know. Mine's disconnected though. I thought I was gonna lose you. First thing I do when I see Steam get disconnected is like,
Check my
what day
internet.
is it? No, first is day. What day is it? Then it's, wait a minute, did my internet just drop? So I don't
And
know.
then
I don't
from
know what the
there,
deal is.
rip. Aroni. Demoni. No big games dropped, so it wouldn't be like servers to update.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
What's the biggest game ever dropped?
GTA 6?
Hmm. Remastered Edition 5.
What, to
Uh,
get it on next gen consoles?
well, like to get it on like refrigerators,
Oh, okay.
mobile apps.
Yep.
Oh, that's what I was gonna mention of. I started. I. I'm just almost gonna have to give up on YouTube Shorts. I
They're
like
bad. Mine are bad.
mine have gotten so much like when they started and they were like Malad making sandwiches at Subway and all that stuff. They were pretty good. I was like pretty happy with what I was watching. Now like I get either an ad on YouTube about like a mobile game. I get some like scam. Oh, you want free Roblox? Go to my website in the
I have
description.
so many of them. Yeah, I can't watch it.
That or you get the ones that are like, oh, check the 18 plus link in the comments.
Or it's an ad, but it's not an ad.
Fucking, you get like the slime one, like where they have the fake like customer. It's like, why didn't I get my free slime? Did you like, share, and comment? No, I didn't. And it's like, oh, well, do that. Or you get those like stupid like blender ones. It's like all you can make like smooth. You ever get the smoothie blender
Yeah, all the time.
bottle?
All the time.
It's like, oh, look how quiet this is as they mute it, and then you like actually watch someone use it in real life. It's like, "Arrgh." So yeah,
Yeah.
I, I
No. No thanks.
I will give the one ad this. The people that were in the ad fake playing a mobile game were wearing my headset. So I was like, you go, kids.
Is that all it takes?
That's all it takes. I'm like, I like you guys. Those are some BPSH ones. Um, But yeah, I'm like YouTube. Like, how do you do? Like, I don't even understand it. I'm like, I
I
report
think
them,
they've all devolved into that, to be honest with you.
but like I'm YouTube. I'm a dude at YouTube that can code, right? Like, I'm gonna pretend I'm like a YouTube developer. I get told I have an issue where like, oh hey,
YouTube bots are out of control.
yeah, but like hey, all sure, people are reporting these videos, but they're one-off channels that are spun up just post one video and they get taken down to go to a spam bait website. If like I'm a YouTube guy and my AI should be able to determine like, oh, we're gonna ban this video. YouTube like should be able to like have a thing where it's a minute video. If like the X amount of audio with like pixels, because it's like the same video re-uploaded most of the time. If it hashes out to like a same value, that should be automatically just banned. Like you've already banned it
Yeah,
once. Like take that video that like has very much the same value and just auto ban stuff. Like how is that not a thing?
I don't know. It's just like the comments that I see all the time where it's a spam account trying to be the YouTube account you're on,
Hmm.
and there's hundreds of comments replying to people saying, "Hey, you won the contest. Text me on WhatsApp to claim your prize."
Like oh,
It's
okay,
like it's like hundreds of them.
yeah. What's that? What's up, Doc? Ha, got him.
So yeah, it's getting annoying. It's getting bad. Not great.
My layover in Orlando was extended. Or
Bummer.
I have a no in Atlanta. I have a now 6 hour layover between leaving from Baltimore to Orlando.
That sounds fun.
If if it was gonna happen in any airport, I'm happy and it's gonna happen in Atlanta, 'cause it's like one of the biggest airports in North America.
Yeah,
So there's like stuff to go. Like and it's a
stuff
big
to
airport.
yeah.
It's it's actually kind of a fun airport to. I've been in there once, and I had like a 2 or 3 hour layover. Um, and I walked around it a little bit, not too much, but like it's a fun one just to walk around because it's just massive. It's looking at all the logistics and signs and
Yeah,
getting there's a
it's kind of crazy.
it's 4 or 5 buildings, I can't remember, but it's five individual like finger looking buildings and you get through them between with like a tunnel or a train tunnel. One,
Yeah,
three, four,
six
five,
six rows.
rows. So yeah, like in the center underneath is this like tram car that you
That's neat.
like
Did
go
not think it
between
was
and
that crazy.
yeah, no, it's a I don't logistically how anything actually like just like functions there is crazy.
Yeah,
But
that's a
walk
lot.
around it a little bit is just like kind of cool. See it all. A lot of restaurant like it has like every restaurant, so like you don't have to like buy just some random food. They have like everything there.
Yeah,
Um, like I for sure know they have a Chick-fil-A. I know have the Popeye. Like you, if you want a chicken sandwich, you have like it's not just oh you have to go get like this. You have like every option of chicken sandwich you could ever want.
yeah. I mean that's impressive. The tunnel thing is kind of interesting too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like each one of those five like those finger belt like just independent buildings, but because they
Yeah,
don't connect them, they I mean logistically it makes sense.
it does. It's just a huge ass airport too.
Yeah. Pittsburgh has a tunnel thing, but it's set up differently. So it's kind of similar in the sense that you um in Pittsburgh you do security and like the check-in stuff. Um, in one building, and then the actual terminal is this X-shaped building, and you go from like the check-in building to the like X-shaped building in a tunnel.
Why are there jewelry stores and multiple high-end pen stores in an airport?
Because people buy last minute gifts. Also, something about like sales, you don't have to pay like tax on it.
There's a Wolfgang Puck. Is that a restaurant? Yeah.
You
God
don't have to,
damn.
you don't have to pay taxes on like those like whatever they're like.
Really? That's
What
didn't
are
know that.
those? It's like a type of it's like a term. Store in airport mm, without tariffs, or tariffs, not taxes. Um, duty free. Um,
Interesting.
you don't have to pay tariffs on stuff like in that, and yeah, you're paying. I think like at least back in the day, it was like if you could buy like cigarettes duty free without tariffs on them, they were like awesome value. Like you had to buy a shit ton, and they were like you have to buy like the cartons
Yeah.
for like hundreds of dollars, but like not paying like tariffs on your cigarettes are making them amazing value if you smoke a shit ton.
Yeah.
Alcohol too, especially for people leaving the country. I think like oh get your like big old handle of you know X alcohol tariff free if you go back to your home country. Sure, it's a lot of money to spend up front, but you go home and you pay the same amount for like a lot less.
Yeah.
So it's there's a reason. It's a really dumb reason for like most people like us, but
Yup.
112. No one's even on. Dead,
Nope.
dead,
It's
dead.
dead night.
Oh man, I hope her's doing okay. 3 days
Back in
working
the
in the office.
office. Yeah.
That man's know how to wake up, get ready, and go to work 3 days in a row. The first time in like 3 years.
It's crazy.
The man's probably twitching.
Absolutely.
Couldn't imagine because it's just such a living in an office and like working at home is just such a different like environment that I couldn't like.
Oh yeah. So different. And
Yeah,
especially like it's just hard for me to see him going to an office after this long away.
yeah. But hey, I want to
I
say
do be like that sometimes.
now I'm like better him than me, but I'm like I go to the office every fucking day. Like when my when my husband, I'm like, what the fuck am
Yeah,
I
but
saying?
you're not. I don't feel like you're as anti-office as he is.
No, because I have been like I'm just like I go I've done it. There's no it's not like I have to go back. It's that I've been always.
Yeah.
But you know it has to be like that because it is like that because that's all we have for this week's episode of Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
See you later.